Hi everyone, welcome to Witch Hollow Homesteading. This video is actually going to be a compilation of all the planting I did between mid-April and mid-May, since I did have to plant in batches due to the really cold weather we had this year. Hi everyone, welcome to Witch Hollow Homesteading. Today we are going to do our first planting of 2026. Well, not first planting. I did plant the potato bed in the back the other day because it was nice out and I got carried away. I went out to prep other things for planting this weekend, and before I knew it, I had potatoes in my hand and I was planting the potato bed. So that's okay. At least I got that done. But my mom is coming down in just a little bit, and we're going to get more potatoes planted. We're going to get carrots in, and radishes, arugula, my cold weather lettuce, holy basil, kale. I have kale. And what else do I have? And then I have a couple other things too I'm going to plant. This is just kind of like the first bout of it. I am doing it a little early. It's April 12th. I was going to do it next weekend, but Mr. Witch has a trail race next weekend. So I got to get it done now. And it's supposed to be really warm all week, which will be great. I know that it is obviously going to get cold again, but these are all things that like cold weather. I do have my handy little chart. Let's see here. Of all of my drawings. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I have all of this up and ready. This is just going to be like the beginning of my planting. The bulk of my planting will be the second week in May, once I go to the garden center and get all of the other things. I really do like to plant with seeds, but this year there might be a little bit less of that because of timing and everything else. I was sick a couple weeks ago and that threw me off, and we have the new house going in this year and we're going to have to move and get my mom moved and everything else. So seeds might not be an option for some things, and that is okay. So let me take you outside and show you, I think, where we're going to start first. Let's go. Okay, so I don't know, I think you can see me, but there's more vertical garden that way. But this is both of our vertical gardens. I used to keep them in the back on the deck. However, this year, because we're moving, I'm putting them out in front so that when the house comes in, I can just wheel them down the road and put them in our new driveway, which is great. So I'm not going to get all of these planted today because a lot of them are herbs that I'm going to get later at the greenhouse. But there is a bunch that I do need to get planted today. I think it's 4 that are lettuce, 3 or 4 that are lettuce. I need to get the holy basil in. There's kale, and I might plant mizuna as well. So we are just going to see what we get done. All of these, this is the second year of the dirt in these, and I'm going to pull the straw out, the old plants, and some of the old dirt, and I'm going to substitute in with compost and put fertilizer in to replenish the soil. So we will be doing that, and then the beds outside, well, I'll show you what we're going to do with those next. Before I get to any of the dirts in the bed, we first had to put together this trellis. We bought 3 of them, and it was easy once we put 2 of them together. The third one only took us like 20 minutes, but until we figured out what to do, it did take quite some time. But it's great because these attach right to the current Vago beds that we have, so it wasn't like we were trying to figure out how we were going to attach these trellises. And as you can see here, this is what they look like. And I will say that they do tip kind of left and right a little bit. We did tighten them as much as we could, so I'm not sure why they tip. But we had found to get some C-clamps and just put them on each side, it'll keep them upright. Now it's time to get to the raised beds. So last year at the end of the season, I put a lot of fertilizer into each of these beds. I also put a little bit of compost, some leaves, and then I topped it with a thick layer of straw. I have to say, as I was digging this dirt up to loosen it, it was beautiful soil. Like, it was nutrient dense and ready to plant in. So I did end up adding compost to it, but I didn't need as much as I thought because the soil looks so good. This bed is getting 5 potato plants, and here they are. I bought 2 different kinds, the Huckleberry Gold and the Masquerade. So I'm going to be planting 5 in this bed. I'm going to do kale in the center, and then on the side with the trellis is going to be the pole beans. And I did get distracted and busy to film, so I thought I would show you now. This bed, the side with straw on it, are sugar snap peas. In the middle is going to be soybeans and arugula. And then on the left is going to be more sugar snap peas. This bed isn't ready yet. I can't plant this until late, and this will become the cattle bean bed, but that'll be later. Here are the vertical gardens. And this is a mix, like I said, of lettuce and holy basil. This bed I planted today, this is all carrot seeds. So this entire bed will be carrots except for a sage plant and a marigold. Here is the vertical garden. The bottom of this one does have marshmallow seeds in it. And here is the potatoes and the kale plants. And then the trellis for the pole beans when I can plant them in a few weeks. Hi everyone, welcome to Witch Hollow Homesteading. It's a little late. I am sorry about that when it comes to getting this garden video out. Things have been quite crazy and busy with the new house and everything else. So I did plant some stuff. I did get the trellises in. Let me take this off. I'm worried my coat's gonna hit it. Hold please. Okay, there, that's better. I did get some of the trellises in. I planted potatoes, sugar snap peas, carrots, and yesterday I went and got the other stuff that I wanted from the greenhouse I like to go to. And I'm going to spend a little time right now just getting some planted quickly in between the heavy rain that we had on and off all day. And maybe we'll chat a little bit because I've just been really busy and I'm very sorry. This channel is important to me, but sometimes things take top priority. So let's get outside. I will show you what's been planted so that you can see it, and then we'll plant some new stuff. Let's go. So here is some of the stuff that I need to plant the next couple of days. There's a mixture of peppers and herbs and tomato plants in here with some flowers. So let me take you over now to the potato bed. Now I know this is gonna look really sad, but this is the latest we have ever had heavy frost, and our potato plants got hit with the heavy frost the other day. I promise they are okay, and they are coming right back. But yeah, they did get hit pretty good. I thought this was the perfect, I don't know if you can see me. I know you can hear me though. I thought this was the perfect time to plant in between the rain because the soil will be nice and soft and wet, and it's gonna rain again in a little bit. So I wanna get just a couple things in. I mean, I have a few more days I can do this, but I thought for now. This planting year has not been like others. Other years, it tends to be much warmer. And we still have the heat on, and it is May 13th, which normally by now the air conditioning's running. So just to give you an idea of how chilly it's actually been here. I am going to be planting a petunia. And I'm just going to move that over. I'm going to put one petunia in. And this one is called a Crazy Tunia Cosmic Pink. It's like a fuchsia color, but it really caught my eye when I went, and I kind of couldn't say no to it because out front I am going to pair it with the black petunias, and I just think that's going to look so beautifully gothic and creepy. And if you've been around here on this channel long enough, you know I love anything gothic and creepy. I'm going to put some nitrogen around this. And there we go. I am going to have to get maybe a little more straw. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to plant is I'm going to plant some dill on this side because potatoes and dill go nicely together. So I'm going to put a couple of these in. 2. I think I'm only going to put 3 in for right now because I don't want to overdo it. And while I'm out here, I'm also gonna give some nitrogen to the potatoes. I'm putting a little bit of my fertilizer in the hole and then kind of mixing it around before I put my dill in. I do have pepper plants. I bought jalapenos this year, which I'm very excited about. And I'm doing poblanos again. I'm going to do those all in the canvas pots since that worked out so nicely last year with the poblanos. So I will be doing that. Okay, let's get that evened out. Perfect. I think on the other side I might put a nasturtium or maybe a marigold. I do have marigolds. I did buy marigolds. But for right now, let's just get some nitrogen put around here. Because as you know, potato plants, they love a lot of nitrogen. And it is supposed to rain in a little bit, so I'm not going to worry about watering. Anyway, what I was saying about it being so cold is that because it's been so cold out, normally by this time of the year I have almost everything in. I am prepared, like I'm ahead, and this year I am not because it has been so cold for us, and I'm not too sure why. I would say, oh, lucky us, but yeah, no, it's not lucky us. All right, let's move on. So here are the black and fuchsia petunias I'm going to be putting in with these sugar snap peas. So this row of sugar snap peas are going to be the ones that can be purple or green, and they're growing really well. On this side, this is a different type of sugar snap pea that's just supposed to be green, but I have to say, they didn't come in very well. Down here, and I even replanted them again, and they did not come in very well, so I'm not too sure why, but those were perfect, so I definitely will use those next year. This bed is going to be cattle beans, but not yet because I have to wait, it's too cold. These are the carrots, and if you can see, there are little carrot greens coming up, which I'm really excited about. So we have a bunch of carrots popping in. Oh, I gotta harvest kale. And then we have kale over here and the potatoes. Now these potatoes did not get hit with the frost like the ones in the back for some reason. So these are looking really nice, but again, I think the ones in the back will be fine. I just have to give them a little time. One of the things I'm going to do with the sugar snap peas is they're starting to climb, which is great, but they are trying to grab a hold of each other. So I am going to, I think, put some strings coming down to have these grab onto to pull themselves up. Because yeah, like this one grabbed onto that one. And that's fine, but yeah, I gotta separate them. So, and my plan is to put the petunias here because supposedly, since these sugar snap peas climb, the petunias provide really good ground coverage for the sugar snap pea plants. So we're gonna stick some kind of right in here. Let me clear a space. Let's get this in. I love these black petunias. They're my absolute favorite, and I thought pairing them with the color I picked, that fuchsia, would look so good. So I'm just gonna stick this right in here. I think I'll do 4 in here. Oh, and by the way, these sugar snap peas, they said to plant them before 6 weeks before last frost date. Have to say, we had that heavy frost. I did not cover them, and they look really good. So yeah, they're absolutely correct about that. This is my first time growing sugar snap peas, so I am hoping that I'm gonna be successful with it, because I have to say, so far they've grown really well. Like I said, except for the ones on the other side, which I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, so we'll see. Okay, so those are in. I have 2 extra, which is good. I was going to put them somewhere else, as I don't remember where else I was going to put them. I can go in and get some string and start tying these to give them a little extra something to grab onto. Oh. Okay, I know sun's in my eyes here, but I want to plant more arugula. So I had planted this when I planted the potatoes, and we had that frost, and it killed it. So only 1 survived. So I need to replant that. So I'm going to do that right now, and that's going to go in this bed right in the front, which I think is a perfect spot. I'll just set this aside. Oh, and this side where this trellis is, this is actually going to be my pole beans for this year. Last year they grew from that bed up and over. This year I bought this trellis to just grow right here. And if you're curious, I had mentioned it before, but I get all my seeds from the Hudson Valley Seed Company because they grow in this zone really, really well. They come from down around the Albany area, a little bit below that. And they're just really nice in our type of climate. So I always pick them. I used to do Baker's Creek, but I don't anymore. I have reasons for that. But yeah, so this Hudson Valley Seed Company is really, really good. And I highly recommend it. Okay. Now, I'm going to put 1 marigold there in the center, so I might as well do that now while I'm out here doing this and get that taken care of. I will admit, just like always, when I went to the greenhouse yesterday with my mom, I absolutely bought more than what I think I can fit in the garden. And you know what? That's all right. We'll figure it out. That's why while I was there, I bought some more of those grow bags. So yeah, we'll figure it out from there. All right, I'm going to stop for now, head back in, and we'll see you in the morning. Thank you for joining me right now. Good morning. We are back, and it is the next day. Got some good sleep, played a lot of video games last night, and just relaxed. So now I feel ready to tackle the day a little bit more. So this morning I am going to, oh, hello bird. I'm going to pull all this old plants out from last year and replant this raised bed. Our winter was really, really harsh this past year. And while normally my thyme and my oregano live into another year, 2 years, whatever the case, this all died because it was so bitter cold for so long. So let's get started on this and we'll see what I replant in it. I also have to take down this fence. Well, which I will get to. I don't want to rip up the clover patch because the clover patch is really nice and I use it for my tea, but I am going to take down this fence. This fence is kind of useless. Well, one thing at a time. This soil is so beautiful. At the end of the season, I topped it with a ton of leaves, and then I also put a bunch of fertilizer on it, and then topped it with a lot of mulch straw, and it is just beautiful. Okay, before I get this planted, trying to even it off a little bit, I got it all dug out. Didn't take me that long, it was pretty easy. I want to add some compost to it. And just get this evenly mixed around. Now, what am I putting in here?
So this is Pamela in the future, and I had music playing while I was recording this, and you can very slightly hear music in the background, and I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I'm just going to voice over instead. It would be much safer. The red burgundy colored plant that I bought, there's no name on it. I have no idea what it's called, so if you know, please comment below and let me know. But it was just so pretty, and supposedly a purple and white flower will grow out of the top of it. So I am very excited to see how it grows with the herbs. I bought yarrow for the first time this year, which I've always wanted to grow, and they had. And I also purchased horehound, which was a new one for me as well. And then in here, I'm also planting oregano and thyme. I am also planting radishes in between my herbs. I did this last year, and the radishes are 35-day radishes from seed to harvest time. So this is just a perfect fill-in until all the herbs grow a little bit more. And then I'm going to top everything with some straw. After the herbs were planted out back, I did move out front where this is the cattle bean bed, and I am prepping to put in a petunia in the front, and then in the back I'm going to put some targon, and I'm just going to do a little bit of fertilizer, put some fresh straw, water it, and be done with this bed, and I'm done planting for today.
Good morning. It is the next day, and I have some more plants to get into the vertical gardens. I have a bed in the back I have to get some plants into, and I also have to get the pepper plants in. So I think that's what we're going to do this morning. I'll see how much I get done because we have other stuff we're doing this afternoon. This is weird for me that this planting this year, because it's been so cold, has been so spaced out. Like normally I pick a day or two and just get it done, and this has been little bits here, little bits there, so just one of those years. But we'll get started and I'll show you what I'm doing with the vertical gardens.
I started by digging the old plants out from last year and pulling off the old straw. And this dirt was really dry because it was protected on the porch and inside all winter. So I am going to have to water it a little bit, which is why the hose is here. But I added some fresh compost. I am adding some fertilizer, and then this one is getting the cilantro. And then I also have parsley I need to plant as well. This ended up being a short filming day and a short planting day because other things came up. So I just did the 2 vertical garden pieces that I needed to add, and then I went out back and cleaned out this bed that's going to have cucumbers, arugula, 1 tomato plant, yarrow, and radishes. I did top this bed with compost when I got done weeding. I put fertilizer on it, and then I planted and covered everything with straw. It is now May 16th, and this was the first warm day we had, which was really nice. I could wear shorts and a t-shirt. And today we are going to get the pepper plants planted and see what else we can get accomplished. So first I'm starting with some Mother Earth potting soil to put in all of these canvas bags. And then I'm going to add some of the fertilizer in. Now I'm ready to get the pepper plants in, and this year I am planting 6 ancho, which are poblanos, and 6 jalapeno plants. I had a lot of success last year with the ancho pepper plants, so I'm feeling like I can tackle jalapeno plants, but we'll see. The last thing I always like to do is top the soil with a thick layer of straw. I got all the pepper plants in, watered them, and now I am moving on to this bed that is going to be cattle beans. And I'm going to remove all of the old straw. I'm going to add compost in and stir the soil around a bit, some fertilizer, and then plant my beans. This is the first time I am planting cattle beans, and I'm excited. Supposedly they're very easy to grow, so we will see how they turn out. Here I plant potatoes. I always find one potato that I left in from the previous year that had started to grow, and I found this one underneath the sage plant. I didn't want to dig too hard last year when I was digging them out of this bed because the sage roots went really far and I didn't want to destroy the sage plants. So here we go with a little potato that began to sprout. I also had to take the sound out of this section because I was listening to some K-goth music, and yeah, nobody needs to be hearing that and giving me a copyright strike. So sorry, but here I'll try to put some music in that's similar. Here are the cattle beans that I'm going to be planting, and I will show you what they look like. The packet does not say I had to soak them first, so I'm just planting them just like this. I'm also going to top these with a heavy layer of straw. In between the sage plant and the petunia, I'm going to plant some more radishes. I'm going to give this bed a good watering, and then I moved on to the last bed, which was the pole beans, but I did forget to film that, so I am sorry. But those are in, and now I'm just going to take you around and show you how everything is growing so far. So I did one more day of planting, which was just an nasturtium I had to get in, but here are the vertical gardens. Everything in here is planted. There's some stuff that was planted a month ago. It's growing beautifully. Here are all the pepper plants, which are coming along. Here I have the petunias mixed with the sugar snap peas, and these are the purple sugar snap peas that are growing. And they seem to love the cold. Here's just a small little patch of my carrots in the much bigger bed, and the nasturtium that I just planted the other day. More petunias, radishes, and this is my sage. It is flowering, and it is the first time that my sage has ever flowered, so I'm so excited. The pole beans are coming up, which makes me feel really good. The cattle beans are, but they're not popping out of the straw yet, so probably another few days. And here is the kale that I planted a month ago. It's doing really good, and the potato plants. The herb bed with the radishes are also coming along really well. These are the potato plants that got hit with that heavy frost, and as you can see, they have bounced right back and are looking really good. And this last bed is the cucumber plants, and they are popping up as well. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of the 2026 garden at Witch Hollow Homesteading. I hope your gardens are going great as well. Happy homesteading!